What's up, Ranger Nation, Toku Nation, and every nation in between? It's your boy JB here today with a review for Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger episode 9, and it was titled The Unbeatable Counter. I think that was the name of the episode. I'll have it correct in the description and everything when I upload the video. But without further ado, you guys, let's get into the video. Okay, you guys, so the episode, it started, we see Ko, Melt, and Asuna. I don't necessarily 100% know where they are, but they were playing a game, and the object of the game was, so Asuna had some rings that she had to toss, and she had to, get them around the grand prize. The grand prize was that they would win a year's supplies worth of snacks. So, she asked Melt for some advice. So Melt tells her, you keep your eyes straight and just toss it. So she's like, eyes straight, toss. Cool, got it. So she does, and she tosses it. Now it hits a guy in his face, but it does end up landing right directly on the grand prize. So she wins the grand prize. So then we see them, and they're walking, and they have this, they have the bags of food with them. And then she's like, wait a minute, I'm missing a big chocolate bar. And so she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go back and try to find it. So she does go back to try to find it. And when she does go back to try to find it, there are two guys that are, hitting on her, trying to get her to come with them. So then we see another guy, he shows up and he defends her, and he starts fighting the dudes, and he slaps one of them in the face. And then the dudes are like, you know what, we done, like, we're gonna walk away. And I'm like, wow, that was very, very weak. So then, the guy and Austin, they have a conversation for a little bit, and she asks him, was he a boxer? And then he leaves. So then once he leaves, we see Creon creeping up behind him, and Creon tells him, hey, I think you would be a good Minosaur. You would make a good Minosaur. So then we see Ko and Melt. Ko and Melt are fighting a Minosaur. So every time they would attack the Minosaur, it would counter attack and send it back to them, but it would be a stronger attack than what they did to it. So, Ko is, hold on, where am I at? So Ko attacks it, and Ko attacks the Minosaur, and the blast that he did to it, it counters back to them. So then we see the guy that, helped Asuna, and the blast goes towards him, and she sees him, and she jumps in, and she, tries to protect him. And, so then we see Creon. Creon is So Creon is, telling Melt and Ko that, this is a super duper powerful Minosaur. So then, Creon starts antagonizing the Minosaur a little bit, and Creon upsets the Minosaur, and the Minosaur is like, bring it, bring it, bring it. He charges at Creon. So then, Austin, she's still with the guy, and she realizes that it was a guy from before that helped her. And she sees that his hand is hurt, and she says, you're a boxer. And, he says, not anymore. He tells her that his hand will heal. And he's more concerned with her because, he looks at her wrist, and her wrist is bruised. So then he tells her that his name is Mori, and then he leaves. And then we see that the Minosaur is following him. So it's safe to assume that the Minosaur was birthed. Well, we all know that the Minosaur was birthed from Mori. All right, so we see the others. We see Toa, Bamba, Ko, and Melt. So they're talking about the Minosaur, and they're just trying to figure out, everything about the Minosaur. And, they're talking about the counterattacks that he does. And, they want to find out what the weakness of him is. And then, Ko says, I think his weakness is, he always says, bring it, bring it, bring it. And Austin asks a question of Ko. She's like, where'd you come up with that? And Ko tells Austin to shut up. And I'm like, well, God. I'm like, tell her how you really feel. Like, I really felt bad for Austin that they just, he diminished her like that. So, he literally told her to shut up. So, Ko also says that, the Minosaur never hits them first. The Minosaur always had them make the first move. Almost similar to a boxer. And that's when I was like, a boxer? And, she tries to tell them what she knows. And Melt tells her, like, go eat a snack. And I'm like, wow. I really felt bad for her. because it almost feels like when men try to put women down, tell them go cook something, go get in the kitchen and do that, or go cook something, go clean something. I just really felt bad like that. I felt like they were just diminishing who Asuna was. Like, she's sitting here trying to tell y'all that she might know something, and here y'all are diminishing what she's saying and telling her to shut up, go eat, go put put some food in your mouth. Like, I just really did feel bad for her. So then Asuna, she done left out, and she's down, and she's like, nobody wants to listen to what I have to say. And Tiramigo tells her, like, cheer up. And she's like, Tiramigo just basically tells her to cheer herself up. And I'm like, how can you tell her to? I know Tiramigo wasn't in there when they told her to shut up and go eat a snack, but like, for someone to tell you that, like, that just diminishes who you are. And I felt her pain in that situation, like, for real. So then she finds Mori, and Mori is watching someone draw. So she asked Mori, did you meet Creon, a creepy dude who made you drink something? And he was like, how did you know that? So then the Minotaur shows up, and she tells him that thing right there is draining your energy, and eventually it will drain your energy to the point that you die. And he was like, I'll die? She's like, and we have to stop it. So then we see Asuna, she transforms, and she starts to battle with the Minotaur, but the Minotaur, again, it counterattacks every attack that she, throws at it, and it sends it back to her. So, then Mori steps in. He tells her, like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to protect me. And when he stepped in, she remembered his hand, and she thinks that his right hand might be the weakness of the Minotaur. So she attacks the Minotaur's right hand, but that's not a weakness of the Minotaur. Actually, I just went out of order, but that's neither here nor there. So she tells him he'll die, and he's okay with that, and he just leaves. I'm like, well, God, he's okay with death? I wouldn't be okay with that. I really wouldn't. If you tell me that this thing right here in front of me is draining my life energy and I'm gonna die, if it drains all of my life energy, I'm gonna be like, you know what? You need to kill this thing before it kills me. But he was okay with death. He's okay with death at this point. All right, you guys. So then we see the guys, and they're battling with the Minotaur. So they have a plan. Their plan is to hit the Minotaur with a variety of attacks. And then we see Asuna. She is still with Mori, and she wants to know why Mori wants to die so badly. And then she asks him, does it have anything to do with the guy that was drawn by the river? And he's, we see Mori. He has a flashback. So Mori got into a fight with someone, and his friend stepped in, and then his hand, it hits him. Oh God, it hit that metal. When it hit that metal, I'm like, ooh, that ain't nothing but bone. So, Mori blames himself for his friend not being able to draw again. And then, Asuna tells him, well, you dying, that's not going to really make him feel any better or, help the situation out. But again, Mori feels like this is all his fault. And, she asks him, like, what can you do to help him? And, she tells him, anything that you can think of, you do that. And, just, bring it to fruition to help your friend. So the guys, they are still fighting with the Minotaur. And then his nose lights up, and they think that the nose is his weakness. But unfortunately, the nose is not his weakness. So then we see Mori's friend show up. And, he tells him that he never blamed him. But then, they shake hands. He was like, that's what you really thought I would ever say that to you? Like, no. Like, this is all your fault. I blame you for everything that's happened to me. So then we see, Mori, he gets so distraught. And then a lot of his energy is drained out of him. And it goes to the Minotaur. And it makes the Minotaur grow big. And, he passes out. And when he passes out, he falls over the railing, and then Asuna goes and grabs him and tries to protect him, tries to keep him from falling over. So then his friend is on the side of her, or who she thinks is his friend, and she's like, "This is your friend. Like, why don't you help me?" And the friend's like, "I'm not his friend at all. Like, I would never be a friend with a weakling like that." So then we find out that the friend is Weisel in disguise, which I kind of figured that from when he's, when he randomly showed up. I'm like, that is nobody but Weisel. Like, I put two and two together that was Weisel. And it's really easy to see that. Like, I'm not gonna go too deep into what I'm thinking in my head about this show, because it's really a good. I do enjoy Ryusoulger, but I don't think we have a true definition of what the series is about, if I'm being honest. And like I said again, I really do like Ryusoulger. It's just all over the place for me, but otherwise it's really pretty good. I just don't know, like, what are the Minosaur trying to do? Are they? I mean, I know they're trying to, I guess they're trying to take over Earth. I don't know. But again, we're just gonna move on from that. I'm not gonna go too deep into All right, so then we got the guys. The guys are still trying to figure out, a weakness of the Minosaur. So I think it was Toa who figured out what the Minosaur was doing. That the Minosaur was absorbing the attacks with his left arm, and then he was sending it back to them with his right arm. So then we see that Cole calls on Tiramigo, and Tiramigo transforms into his individual Zord. He transforms basically, and they fight with the Minosaur. So then we see Asuna, and she's still on that ledge with holding on to Mori, and have Weisel on the side of her still taunting her, and she's getting madder and madder and madder as things go along. So she finally shows her true strength, and she takes Mori and she tosses him up in the air, and she grabs him, and Weisel's like, oh wow, I was not expecting that from her. So she transforms, and she is ready to just take Weisel out. So Weisel's like, yeah, I don't want to deal with you. I'm just gonna let the foot soldiers, like, you guys go deal with her. So she fights with them and she beats them, and then she goes to try to attack Weisel. Weisel, he retreats. I'm like, well, God, Weisel is a little scary. I was expecting, when it comes to Weisel, the way that he comes off, I would have expected for Weisel to try to at least fight with her and get the best of her. I was not expecting for Weisel to retreat. That was not what I was expecting at all. At all. Like, really wasn't expecting that. Weisel comes off like he's, a hard one, but very, very scary. Interesting. So then, Asuna joins the other guys, and she and Mel Connell on their Dino Nights to fight. So they combine. So then, she's fighting with the Minosaur, and she has a hammer in her hand, and she's about to hit it, because she did hit it on the head, and they told her to hit it again, but this time hit it harder. So when she was getting ready to go hit it, she hit something in the background, and it made a chain reaction. And whatever it happened, all the stuff that it did, it flew up, it kicked up some debris, and it got into the Minosaur's hands. So when that happened, that allowed them to basically defeat the Minosaur. So at the end of the episode, we see Asuna with Mori, and Mori has come around, and he says that even if his friend doesn't forgive him, he needs to do something to help him. And she tells him she's sure that it'll work itself out. So then we see Asuna. She returns home, and they were gonna have a cookout, which I forgot to mention that in the episode, that you and her dad had returned with some food. And she was like, "So where's all the meat at?" And they were like, "Oh, we ate it all." But they were playing a prank on Asuna, and they had food for her. So you guys, that was the episode. Like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, share my videos, and I will see you guys later.